Okay, so the notes in the chord of E major are E, G sharp, because G sharp is 4 semitones up from E. It's what we call a major third up from E to G sharp. It's then a fifth above E is the B, which is a further 3 semitones above the G sharp. So from E you go up 4 semitones to get G sharp, you then go up another 3 semitones to get B. So E to G sharp is what we call a major third, G sharp to B a minor third, E to B is known as a perfect fifth. We add those 3 notes together, we get the chord of E major. If we then add a further 3 semitones up, we add the note of D, E, G sharp, B, D. Because the D is natural, this is classed as the chord of the dominant seventh in the key of A. That E seventh will naturally resolve to A. But E seventh can be further enhanced by adding the note, which is another 4 semitones up from the 7th, D. If we add the F sharp, you get the chord of E ninth, which of course is getting sort of a bit of a stretch. We could play it as G sharp, B, D, F sharp with E in the bass. However, what we can do to that chord is take the 9th and lower it a semitone, so it becomes the note of F natural. Yep. Or you can take the 9th and you can move it up from F sharp up a semitone to the note of G, although in theory that note is now known as F double sharp, and we've now got E, G sharp, B, D and G. Okay, now clearly that G and G sharp being in the same chord, they clash, so you have to keep them apart. You can't go playing them together, you have to keep them apart. And we don't have to have in the right hand all of the notes of that E seventh sharp and 9th. Now if we take the B away and do G sharp, D and G with E in the bass, then you've got your E seventh sharp and 9th. One of the clever things about this chord is that if you go up a tritone in the bass, so if you go up 6 tones, 6 semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you go to B flat, that chord is B flat 13th. Because of the way that the notes have been removed, that's what we call a tritone. E seventh with a sharp and 9th, change the bass note up to the B flat, and you've got B flat 13th, which of course you often hear in the progression dropping down to A 13th. Again, if you go down a tritone, you get the E flat, which is now the E flat 7th with a flattened 9th, which you could then drop down to the D 7th sharp and 9th, which is the same as, for the change of bass note to A flat 13th to G. And you can just keep repeating that to get that typical jazz effect. Okay, hope that maybe explains a little bit about the E seventh with the sharp and 9th. The other thing I was going to mention is that it's often referred to as the Jimi Hendrix chord, because it's, I'll just turn this around a bit, it's this one that he used a lot. There's the same E seventh sharp and 9th, and if I do that, there I've changed it to the B flat 13th. Okie dokie.